Well, hello, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your April the 3rd spiritual principle a day in a meditation. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and get into our meditation. It is entitled Losing and Finding Ourselves in Service. We learn who we are precisely when we forget ourselves in service to others. Living Clean, Chapter 2, Connection to a Higher Power. Before we got to NA, we were all about the getting and using and finding ways and means to get more. On the rare occasion when a feeling surfaced, we snuffed it out with more drugs. This habit of reaching outside ourselves to fix what's inside follows us into recovery. Our inventories reveal how fear-based defects come into play as we try to protect ourselves or avoid discomfort. Instead of trying to wrestle happiness from life, we learn to be patient and strong, to give time some time, and even to live with uncertainty. Although we're sometimes tempted to control and manipulate or to tune out with any number of distractions, service provides a healthier alternative. Service allows us to get out of our heads and into action, whether it's setting up chairs or speaking with a newcomer. Being of service puts us in the moment. It's such a relief to be right here, right now, as one member put it. Even when we're going through our own storms, serving others keeps us in today. Service can bring out the best in us. It helps us figure out who we are or who we want to be. We show up for each other and our commitments regardless of what's going on in our lives. We notice that we've become reliable and trustworthy. We practice compassion and become more compassionate. We listen without judgment and become less judgmental. One member recalled, I took this newcomer under my wing, hell-bent on saving her life. My own life blossomed as the best version of myself came out while I was being there for her. It happens all the time around here. We set aside our worries to serve others, and we're reminded of our strengths. Asking, how can I help? Plops us into a petri dish for growing good character. We find confidence, fulfillment, and the best aspects of our identity as we serve. I will allow acts of service to guide me away from self-centered thinking, revealing my best qualities. I will set aside my own selfish interests and build some muscle memory around practicing spiritual principles. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Please and thank you. Losing and finding ourselves in service, for me, and I'm just speaking from my own experience, for me, service work is the stabilizer. It stabilizes me and it causes me to stop being so self-centered when I want to be. It's very difficult for me to make commitments for service and not show up. I'm a very responsible individual. So when I commit to doing service, it is a rare occasion that I am going to miss what I've agreed to do. And if I foresee that I'm running into some complications as far as being able to navigate the time and the energy and the right spirit for service work, then I will give my notice. And generally speaking, by the time I get to that point, I've already done what I've committed to do, the time frame that I've committed to do it, I've already surpassed that. right? And so I find a lot of times that I use service work to keep me grounded. I use service work to keep me connected to the fellowship. I don't ever want to become an individual with, okay, so I'm in my 30th year, right? So I don't want to become one of those quote unquote old timers that is never seen at any meeting and does not do any service work at all. Until my health tells me that I'm not able to do such, I will continue to do it in some form or fashion, whether it's sponsoring, whether it's 12-step work, whether it's hosting on Zoom platform NA meetings, even in-person meetings that I'm involved with. I'm not going to stop doing those things until, right? I might cut back, but I will never disconnect. And I can't think of a time that I ever have disconnected completely from the fellowship of NA and service work on some level. It's very important to me. And as this member is saying that they were just really trying to help someone else, right? They were just hell bent on trying to help her save her own life. And they start to see that they benefited more from pouring into her than they expected. They were benefited from their own service work. I just I have this small little story I want to share because I just had a lady that I've been working with in the program for some years now. And we spent some quality time today, just chatting, talking, and touching bases and making sure we're on the same page with where she's wanted to go in recovery and where she's headed and the things she's passed through. So we're just having this beautiful conversation, and it was some heavy stuff in there that we talked about. And I kid you not, less than an hour ago, she just hit me up and said, I'm about to go into, this facility and carry the message. And I thought to myself, well, go ahead on then, lady. That is amazing. Just go ahead and do that service work. I thought to myself, that is amazing how one individual could be passing through so much of a storm. And then, without it even being planned, choose to do service in a spirit of selflessness on this particular level, H&I. H&I is not easy, right? And so I was really amazed at that. And that's the same thing here. Sometimes the best thing to get ourselves out of ourselves is to get into carrying the message to someone else or doing service on some other level. And that's just a real life example, right? That's just a real life example, less known the one that they're sharing here in this meditation. Very powerful. I hope that you've benefited from the meditation today. I hope that you will lose yourself and find yourself in service work, that you will be able to carry the message to the still suffering addict. We need you so much. And it is about attraction and not about promotion. And we need to be concerned with whether or not we're making our program of Narcotics Anonymous, that we are members of when we say we are, right? Attractive or not. I love it when I can tell when someone is doing service work and they are taking personal pride in how they present whatever it is that they're doing. They're doing it with excellence. And I get excited by that because no one has to do any of this. No one's getting a paycheck for the level of service that we're doing. So when a person shows up for service work and they bring excellency, I think that is too amazing. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today, and I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to talk to you tomorrow.